Dercia, thank you so much for coming through and just the willingness to speak your truth and just being willing to come today. I really do appreciate it. Now, you are one of the finalists for Mrs. Universe Africa 2022. Yes. That's incredible. How has your journey been up to now?
I'd just like to first say thank you for having me in here in the house. It's an absolute pleasure. I think I fell in love with everything that you do, and that's why I'm here. My name is Dercia Josue, for those who don't know me, and I'm originally from Mozambique. I grew up and studied in Mozambique, and I've been living in South Africa now for the past just over 10 years. Yes, I am a mom and I'm a wife. I am a beauty therapist by profession. I'm also a beauty educator. I'm an entrepreneur, and I think the list is quite long. I'll keep it right there. And now a finalist for Mrs. Universe Africa.
How's that been for you? How's that experience?
It's been the most amazing experience ever. Listen, I think just to say that I've entered the pageant to better myself. I've been watching what pageants have been doing to women out there, and I've always said to myself, one day I want to be there. I want to be one of those women. I want to go into a pageant that's going to change my life, it's exactly what it has done for me.
Sure.
I like to describe myself as I started this journey as a little caterpillar.
Yeah.
And now I'm like slowly becoming a butterfly.
Yes,
so
I like that.
Yes, it's been amazing. I have learned so much, so many skills. I was able to develop the skills that I have even further. I was able to do so much for so many people, which is something that I've always wanted to do. Giving back to the communities that we grew up in, to the people, to anyone out there who needs help is also something that is very close to my heart. And I've been able to do that in a big scale, which it's amazing. I think for me there is nothing more beautiful than just being able to touch someone's life. The smile, the happiness that you see on the person once you've just done something for them, it's priceless. I don't think there is anything that can, take that away. It's the most amazing feeling.
When a lot of people think about pageants, immediately people think it's all about the looks, and it's, you have to look a certain way and speak a certain way. But after getting to know you, it's so clear to me that it's so much more than just that.
Absolutely. Just to talk a little bit about Mrs. Universe. Mrs. Universe is a pageant that accommodates married women, divorced women, and widows as well, separated women. So it's already a pageant that gives opportunity to other women, because there was a lot of women out there that got divorced, that are widowed, that has already lost, has lost hope, have lost the confidence and all of that. So, for me especially, I used to do a lot of modeling growing up, and then life became serious. The kids came, the marriage came, and and then I thought it was over for me. I thought I would never, and it's always been a dream of mine. I remember growing up that I said, I'll always go out there one day. I'll represent my country somewhere, internationally. And that dream was gone. That dream was gone with so many other dreams that, we have. And as we grow up and as life becomes serious, we lose our dreams as we grow up. That little child inside us dies out. And for me, Mrs. Universe literally came and woken up that little child in me. And it's the best thing that could have ever happened. I never thought I would be able to enter any pageant or do anything of this sort, and being on stage, which was what I used to do a lot growing up. So for me, it's like literally a dream come true.
You mentioned that it's been somewhat life-changing.
Yes.
Please elaborate on that.
Listen, I mean, just to start from a point where we have so many things that we need to do that we put on hold. We're like, okay, next year I'll do this, next week, or maybe after Christmas I'll do this, and then I'll do that, and then it just comes and gives you a little push, because now they give you the tools, they give you the tools that you need in order to better yourself. So it's a push, but not quite a push, because it's like, okay, do it, but you're not obligated to do it.
Yeah.
But do it.
I see, it's a gentle push.
So it's a gentle push. So, but it's a very good push, because then you start unlocking all those things, all the things that you have been putting it in boxes, like, okay, later, maybe in 2025, maybe in 2010, and things like that. So it had been unlocking all those boxes. And the other thing also, as a person, I've grown so much individually. I have developed myself so much. The self-growth is amazing for me. I mean, I've learned my value. I know that I am worthy.
Wow.
And I've also learned not to make myself small to accommodate others. So it's been incredible, because you know, as the journey goes and everything keeps going, you start learning a little bit about yourself. You start learning about prioritizing yourself. I think when you get married, you kind of like lose yourself a little. When the kids come and everything, the most important thing is the kids. The kids come first.
Yeah.
The husband comes, and you know, it's all about everybody else but you. So I felt like I've lost myself a lot throughout the years. And now I'm like slowly starting to regain myself. I mean, if now there is a job that needs to be done in Durban, I'm going. I'm not even thinking twice about it. I am going.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, before I would think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with the kids? Will my husband be able to spend a week without me?
Yeah.
You know, it's so many things that come. But then at this point, I'm at a point where, you know what, there is something that needs to be done. I'm traveling, I'm going. You know, and at the same instance, the family also adapts. They also start being more supportive of what you're doing. They learn to live, you know, with that new reality of things as well. So it's beautiful to see, you know, how you can actually start loving yourself and just doing yourself, you know, having a life. Because I think at some point we kind of like lose ourselves. Family becomes everything, like we always say family is everything. But being a woman, being a mother, you can't give from an empty. You need to be full. You need to fill yourself first. You need to fill your cup first in order to be able to give to others. So it's basically you give to others what is pouring over. So you need to fill your cup to a point where it's like overloaded, and everyone else just gets everything that is pouring off your cup. So it's just loving yourself more, seeing your worth, and just living for yourself first before others. Because if you are bettering yourself, if you are loving yourself, you'll be able to love others. You won't love others the proper way if you can't love yourself. So the moment you start loving yourself and you start caring for yourself, you'll be able to care for others even better.
And what you know, as you're saying this, what's sort of coming up for me is what you're essentially saying is put yourself first. And a lot of people say that sounds selfish, but it really isn't selfish, because the minute you put yourself first and you fill your cup, can you then allow the overflow be for everyone else? Can you support everyone else through the overflow? And so it's quite amazing, because it's very counterintuitive. People think I need to first take care of everyone else and then I'll take care of myself. And you're saying take care of yourself first. And everything else will be taken care of.
Everything else will be taken. I mean, that's how I used to think as well. I used to think, no, I need to take care of everyone else. I need to make sure that everyone is fine. But then this journey has actually helped me understand that if I'm not okay with myself, if I'm not happy with myself, if I'm not in a good space, I won't be able to give my best to others. I won't be able to love others better. So it's more or less what, this self-development that it's been, coming with the journey as well.
And also, I think what you've done so beautifully was you always had this thing inside of you, and this thing of I want you to do more and I want you to grow more, and you actually honored that by pursuing the pageant, for example. And as a result of that, you have grown tremendously. And sometimes that growth tends to leave other people behind.
Wow, absolutely. Oh, I think that's...
You know where I'm going with this.
I think that was the most, for me, that was the most difficult one. Actually, because when you start growing, not everyone will understand your growth. Not everyone will want to grow with you. I think that's been, for me, with family and friends and people around me, people that I particularly thought that, these people are here for me, these people have my back. If anything, these are my people.
Yeah.
I've come now to realize that they're actually not my people. They don't have my back. They don't even, probably don't even care. Because as you start developing yourself, you start growing, and you start knowing your worth and loving yourself more, the people around you don't quite understand. They start thinking, oh, okay, now she's in a pageant. She thinks that she is, something else. She thinks that she's better than us. Not because one thinks they're better. They just learn their worth. Sure. There is a difference between me thinking that I'm better than you and me knowing my worth. Do you know what I'm saying? So it actually takes a self-development, the one that I'm going through, for one to be able to understand. And then when people don't understand, that's when you come across to, okay, she thinks she's better. You know what I'm saying? So I've lost a lot of friends along the way, people that I thought, they were there for me, they were my people. I've lost a lot, and it's sad. But it's sad, and at the same time, it's a bittersweet. It's a bittersweet feeling, because you're kind of like, okay, it's sad that I've lost this person, but at the same time, it's good because now I know who's here for me and who's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So then you start learning, okay, this person is just here. Because most of the people, they are not in our lives because they love us or anything like that. They're just in our lives because of what we give them, because what they can get from us. You know what I'm saying? And then the moment they can't get that, then it becomes a problem. Then you become the bad person. It's like I say, like as I started growing and my self-development journey with the pageant, I started having boundaries that I didn't have before. I started setting up boundaries. I was the kind of person that, listen, you can call me at midnight, saying my car is stuck. Listen, I'll go. There is a word that says, don't light yourself in fire to keep the others warm. I was the kind of person that would light myself on fire. I would burn for everybody else. Wow. Like I was always there. I would always go out. I would even leave my kids to go and help you if you were in some kind of a situation. So that was the kind of person that I was. I would drop everything that I'm doing like right now to go and help you or to do whatever. And then from the moment I started saying, no, I can't do that. And, I started saying, no, but I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't help you with it. I started setting some boundaries, then people started withdrawing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, now she thinks she's different, now she thinks she's better, and then you start losing. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm growing, and if you are ready, let's do it. Let's grow together. Let's better yourself, because people don't quite understand that if Dercia is doing well, she'll also help me do well. People tend to think that no, you need to be here. You need to be right here where I am. We need to be at the same level. The moment you go up a bit, then it becomes a problem. For other people. That's when you start realizing that, okay, people are not quite here for me. They're actually here for their own benefits.
But that's what I've noticed. Like, it's exactly that. People are happy when you're on their the same level as them. The minute you step up a level, they almost want to pull you down to bring you to their level. And I've seen this with so many people as well, and I think to myself, why is it that you're pulling down? Why don't you support? Because we spoke about it last time. My dad always used to say, your blessings are in people.
Absolutely.
Uplift people, because that's where your blessing will come from. It's not going to come from pulling someone down. And it blows my mind. And I guess it's just human or second nature it's just survival. If you do better, it's a scarcity mindset.
It is.
If you do well, that means there's not left more for me.
Nothing left for me.
And so I need to pull you down in order for me to get to that point. And I think what needs to change is from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, that there's enough for all of us.
Yes, people must just start understanding. I mean, I am the kind of person, I mean, talking from my business side, I'm always helping everyone else that wants to start their business. I'm always there. I'm always making sure that they have everything that they need. They have all the tools and they know where to go, where to get products, basically a little bit of everything. And people constantly tell me, why are you giving them all this information? You shouldn't be telling them everything. And I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I go to bed and I know that I've done my part, because I think what people miss is important. I know it's important to find your purpose in life, and I have found my purpose. I know that I'm here to help people, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I do it. That's how I live. So I live every day fulfilling that purpose. I remember some years ago when I actually sat and had a conversation with God, because there was a point where I was a bit lost. I didn't know where to go, how to go, and I think we always, every now and then, we find ourselves, in that position, and it's very important to sit down and reflect, on life and what you've been doing and where you're going and so on and so forth. And I discovered that that's me. I'm here to help. So I'm going to help everyone that needs help, And people often judge. They're like, oh, but people are taking you for granted. People are taking advantage of you and. But for me, I've done my part. You don't understand. I wouldn't be able to go to bed in peace knowing that I didn't help you when I could. Do you understand? So for me, it puts me at ease when I go to bed knowing that I've helped everyone that I could help today. What you do with my help, it's your problem. It's your side of the story. My side of the story, it's done. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So what you do with it, if you want to take it for granted, if you want to take advantage, if you want to abuse, that's your problem. It's not mine. I've done my part and I've done it well, and that's what keeps me at peace.
Wow.
So just getting around that a little bit is also difficult for people, because people are always there. Some people, they'll come because they are trying to literally get into you, to just take what you have. People will come and they just want to take what you have. And and people, I always say that people can't take what you have. They can't take who you are, how you do things and everything. Listen, we can all open spas. Do you understand? The way I do things, how I do it, how I treat people, you can't take that from me. So people will either come to me or will either come to you. But unfortunately, people tend to think that if I have a spa and they're just going to open a spa, she's going to steal all my clients. How will I steal your clients? So if I steal them, it's because you were never there for them. That's how I put it. So if they come to me, it's because you never gave them the service that they needed. You didn't satisfy them as clients. That's why they left you, not because I stole them from you. And then that's how I view things. But people always tend to think that, oh no, that one is going to outdo me, is going to get better than me, but it's just a matter of understanding and knowing, and
Oh, I love that. Hey, your mindset is just so different to most people, and your mindset is that of abundance, and you just think so differently, and I love that about you. Now, you said a quote the other day, and it still stuck with me up until today. You said this. You said, nobody owes you anything.
Yes.
And you said that was quite a big realization, revelation for you, and a game changer for you?
Absolutely. The day I came across that post, oh my gosh, I think it was a life change. It took time. It took time. It says, no one owes you anything. It actually came to me in a point in my life where I think I was depressed, the anxiety, everything. I had these two little babies. I think I had my kids are like very close, and they were like both little. I was breastfeeding two kids at the same time. And it was quite difficult. And then the fact that, I'm in a foreign country, I don't have family that I can call and say, oh, mom, please come and help me with this one. I'm dropping this one off. And I think that was very difficult for me. And it came at the point where I was like, when we live with people, when we have people around us, we automatically assume that these people need to help us. These people owe us something, that they need to do 1, 2, 3 for us, And then the moment I came across that post, it took me quite some time. I remember I used to wake up every morning and tell myself that no one owes me anything. And at the end of the day, again, I used to sit before I go to bed and tell myself that no one owes me anything. So if I wake up today and I say, good morning, Killen, you've earned it. You've earned my good morning. And if I wake up today and I don't say good morning, it's also okay. Do you understand? So no one owes you anything. So if I don't want to talk to you today, it's okay. You must just understand that no one owes me. I think it starts basically at home.
Yeah.
For me, I had to literally start implementing that at home, because I know having children, being married, it wasn't easy. Sometimes I used to expect my husband to do so many things for me that he didn't feel that he needed to do. So I had to literally wake up every day and tell myself, okay, it's fine, it's okay, he doesn't owe me to do this. If he does it, great, it's awesome, it's beautiful. But if he doesn't do it, it's also okay.
Sure.
We have so many expectations from so many people, and I think for me that's the deal breaker, because we expect people to do things for us or to behave in a certain way. That's what leads to disappointment. Yeah. And then it starts leading to depression and stress and anxiety and all of those things. I think from the moment we realize that no one owes us anything, if someone does something for you, you should be grateful for it. But if they don't do it, it's also okay. It's our responsibility to make ourselves happy. I can't put it on you. I can't expect that you're going to come into my life and make me happy. It's my responsibility to care for myself, to make myself happy. I think the other thing that also weighs a lot on relationships as well is that, okay, I expect my partner now to pay for the bills. I expect him to I expect him to do so many things. It's not a one-person thing. We're coming together, so we need to be able to work together. Yeah. But we tend to expect so many things from people, and I think it comes to also lack of communication. It comes down to lack of communication because we don't communicate. I remember after all of that, I said to myself, listen, I think I need to learn to communicate better. I need to learn to, know my values and my word, and, people must know, who I am, what I am, and, to be able to, understand. So it becomes very complicated, becomes very difficult at points. And I think by the time you just understand that you cut out the expectations that we have from people. Sure. For me, it was a game changer. It changed my entire life. Absolutely. I was so much happier because I knew that I needed to do things for myself. I needed to do everything. It was just me. And then the moment that, for instance, my husband would do something for me, I was so grateful for it. Wow. And he was happy that I was so happy that he did something for me. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not anymore that expectation that you must do this, you must go to the market every day for me,
Wow.
or it's your duty to get the bin out. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get up, I'll take the bin out, and if you decided, okay, just leave it, I'll do it for you. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling, it's so nice, so beautiful. It's such a beautiful feeling. So and you must also realize that once you start caring for yourself and you start focusing on yourself, then people will do things for you because they realize that you actually don't. You're not expecting. You're not becoming a burden.
Wow.
On them.
Love that. Sure.
Yeah.
Listen, you said something so profound. I hope people get this because this is so big. What you're saying is, our expectations of other people is what's crippling us. It's what's hurting us.
Absolutely.
It's what's making us unhappy, depressed, sad, and anxious, whatever it is. We are expecting people to soothe our inadequacies. It is up to us.
It's up to us.
It is up to us.
And the sooner you understand that, the easier your life will be.
Wow. Listen, and I know that's not easy. It's not an easy process.
No, it's not. It's not I can say that for myself, it took me months to actually get to a point. Because, it's a statement. It's a statement that you need to understand. You need to hear it. You need to understand it. And then you need to leave it.
Yeah.
So it takes time. Those are like stages that you go through to be able to, read something and understand. Because we often read things and we don't understand what you're reading. So literally reading it, understanding it, and actually start living it, expressing that in your day-to-day life, it actually makes a difference. Me having the 2 children and not having much help around, I think I was expecting my husband to help me with everything, but he also had work to do and other things, and so I think for me it was the happiest thing to literally just wake up in the morning and do what I needed to do, do everything that needed to be done, and not expect that someone would come and help me with this and that. And you just wake up and you do your life, you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And then everything else, it's a bonus. Everything else, all the help that you can get from anywhere is just a bonus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
Now let's flip it slightly. Where does the ability to ask for help come in? Because I think, it's fantastic that you do for yourself, but we're human beings, and there's limits to us. There's only so much we can do. I also think it's quite important that you should also have the courage sometimes to ask for help if help is required.
Absolutely. I do. It's important to understand. This is also comes to, I like to say that we tend, this is another, we always like to think that we can do everything. You know what I'm saying? We think that we are these superheroes, that we can do it all, but we can't do it all. We must just, it's a point, period. You can't do it all. You can't do it all by yourself. So yes, we need to ask for help. People are there for so many reasons. And that's where you are able to create that connection and be able to build with others, because at the end of the day, I like to believe that we are all a community. You know what I'm saying? We are all one. So us being able to help one another, that's what's going to make a world a better place.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's necessary to ask for help. Imagine if you were here, you were working, and then you didn't even need someone to answer the phone. You were going to do it all because, you're just a superhero, that you can do it all. You don't need any help. So that's where you need someone that's going to help you with this. And that's where there is people in different fields of life. Do you understand? So that, I can say, okay, I need this person to do this for me. I need that person to do that for me. I need this person, because people have different gifts, I'll put it that way, and skills. And, once you know your own lane of, let's say, work or gift or whatever it is in life, then I know your lane. That's where I know that, okay, if I'm in a situation like this, I need Kellen to help me.
Absolutely.
So we can't do it all.
Sure. You know, you say all these profound things, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. What you said is, when you ask for help, you are essentially building a connection. You're building this intimacy with this person or thing, or mostly person that you're asking for help, because you are allowing that person to come into your space. You're allowing that person to see you in a slightly different light, and I think that's so important. So it's the same coin, but the different sides of the coin.
It's different because, you know, sometimes we ask. I think for me is, you know, is sometimes I'll ask for help to people not because I can't do it. It's not because I can't do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it all. But it's just allowing others to come in, to be part of something. Do you know what I'm saying? And to unite with others to create a bigger impact, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of people might have a challenge on discerning when to ask for help and when to do it on your own. And I think when you know that I can do it on my own, but I'm being vulnerable enough to include someone into my space to help me, that is power.
Yes.
To be able to lower your guard and say, I want you to help me, you know. And I think that's powerful, because most people have this, and I used to be this person. I used to want to do everything on my own and not ask for help, because I didn't want anyone to say, you got where you are today because of someone. But the funny thing is, I am who I am because of everyone that I've been in contact with. And so it's actually a false perception that I've got to where I am because of myself only. And it's actually been quite liberating to know that the help is there. And it's not just okay, but it's actually encouraged to ask for help, not from a point of lack, but a point of power, of saying, I want you to include us, or I want to include you into my space so we can build and grow together.
Absolutely.
You know,
yes.
Is there any message that you feel people need to share or need to know now in this particular time and place? What's that message that you feel people need to know?
Sure. I think given everything that's happening around us, I mean, I think there is, I don't know what's happening in the world, but there is so much happening. I think we must just remember the gift of giving. You know, we must remember the gift of giving. And when I mean the gift of giving, I'm not talking giving money or anything, but just giving, even if it's just your time. Just giving your time, just helping others. I think we take for granted the fact that someone is there for us. It's a time that a person took out of their day to actually be there, to actually be able to help you and to just do something for you, and it's so important. So I'm just going to say, let's remember to give, and let's not give from what we have left. I think that's, for me, it's very important. You know, I think I grew up with my grandmother. And growing up with my grandmother, there were so many kids in the house, you know, and I used to think that they were all family. I used to think that they were all family, and I grew up having so many cousins, you know. Just to actually grow up and then realize that these people are not even related to me. But my grandmother would take in every other child in the neighborhood that the parents couldn't afford or didn't have the conditions, or for whatever reasons it was.
Goosebumps.
So she would always take them in. And I think growing up, once I grew up and I started actually understanding what that is, I think from that age, it kind of like instilled something in me that we always needed to give, we always needed to help. And in that sense, not helping from, okay, I've had lunch and there is some leftovers, or from last night's meal that we're going to give it to someone. No, but actually sharing what we have. Wow. Even if I just have one loaf of bread, I can literally share this loaf of bread with everyone that needs it. So I think it was also something that I've always wanted to do. And I think about 2 years ago, I started doing that. And now with this journey that I'm in now at Mrs. Universe, I think it's been the most amazing thing, just being able to go out there and help so many more people. I think if all of us could do a little bit, just a little bit, you know, the world would be a better place. And, you know, we don't need to have much to give. That doesn't mean that, okay, because I'm rich or I am whatever, then I can give. It's not even that. It's just being able to share the little that we have.
Yeah.
You know, if I have, you know, an extra bread, if I have an extra cup of tea, if I have whatever it is that we can share with those who don't have, it will make so much difference in everyone's life.
I love that. If you were to give your younger self, let's say the 10-year-old Dercia, advice, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give the 10-year-old Dercia?
Wow, I think I would say, you know what, go and live life. You know, we get so much caught up in so many things. Listen, I'm going to get into another story.
I love your stories. Let's go.
You know what? I think we take life for granted. I'll say it like that because I think we have this image or this, I'll say this expectation that we have that, you know what, I'm talking from my own. I think everything that I basically talk from my own experiences, that you think, you know what, I just need to, I used to think that I just needed to be a wife to somebody. So as soon as I had this boyfriend that I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna work, you know, and then we actually forget to be ourselves. So we literally go there and we're trying to do everything to become a wife to somebody. Do you understand? And then we forget about living. We forget about living our dreams, doing what we want to do, and all of those things that, you know, it's that thing that I was saying earlier, that we literally kill that little person inside us. We kill that person because now we are assuming that, okay, I'm like 20 years old now, I need to just find a man and be a wife to somebody.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say, just live, have fun, and enjoy life. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think myself, I've rushed to become a and then through the process, then you start realizing so many things, and then you start realizing that, oh my gosh, then I have so much more. I can do so much more. This is not quite, you know, this is not the end. This is not how I want to end.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's so much more.
Yeah, there is so much more to life. There are so many things that I would want to do before I became somebody's wife. Because I mean, we don't realize that being married, it's a completely different thing. It changes so many things in our lives. So we think that maybe living with somebody, it's something nice, it's fun and whatever. It's different. It's a completely different life. So there is so many things that now you can't do, because now you are with somebody that you need to discuss everything with somebody, and this somebody might not agree with what you want.
Yeah.
So it's important that you know what you want. Even getting into a relationship, you need to get into a relationship knowing what you want, and you must communicate. You need to communicate what you want from a relationship, because most of us, I just jumped into a relationship, and then by the time I got there, I was like, but I don't like this. Oh my gosh, and then I don't want this. And then but you're already in that relationship that, you know, 5 years down the line, you are so unhappy. You find yourself in a place, listen, it happens, I've been there. Down the line, and then you realize that I don't think I even like the way he eats. The way he sleeps, the way he kicks, is like, listen, because we are so rushing to get into that relationship, to be, this wife and whatever, that we just kind of like go and throw ourselves in there, and then we forget about what we want from life, what we want for ourselves. So it's very important that we always remind ourselves of who we are, what we want.
Yes.
Do you understand? And then the rest will fall into place. But like literally, it was just, for me, it was just running in, throwing myself in there, and then a couple of years, and then I'm starting realizing that, oh my gosh, I don't think this is quite what I wanted. Yeah. But at the same instance, I had to learn to, I think coming from I'm Christian, Catholic, and then we don't believe very much in, if something it's broken, then you just throw it away. You need to fix it. So I've worked a lot. I think I'm in a much better place now. But I've worked a lot into, I think people must also understand that, getting married, it's not the end, because now I got married and that's it, and then I need to relax. No, there is more to it. You need to start working on it, because it's a working progress. It's not easy. It's not that fairy tale that, when you look at people out there and you think, oh my gosh, they are so happy, and not even. So there is a lot of work that goes into it. So I've learned also, and I mean, coming from where I come from, and then that you need to fix things, you need to sit down and work things out and fix things, and that's what I've been doing. And I mean, even now with the journey, it's been very, very challenging, because I feel like I'm growing as a person, but this person that I have with me, it's not growing with me. And there is so many challenges in between. There is at points where you look at it and I'm like, okay, am I just gonna leave you here and then carry on growing, or so it's very challenging. I'm just gonna put it that way. So it's a work that one needs to do as well. So you need to like constantly work and sometimes take a step back. We know that we always need to move forward and but every now and then we need to like take a step back and then think, take that pause, and look around and see our environment, see where we are and where we're going, and to be able to continue walking forward.
Essentially taking a step back and reevaluating and asking yourself, okay, what's the next step going forward?
Yeah.
I think that's so important. There's something that I think needs to be shared, and it's something that you brought up, which I think is such an important thing to be spoken on and to bring to light, and that is black tax. What is your perspective of it, and where does your heart lie when it comes to black tax?
Wow. It's quite difficult, it's quite sensitive, it's quite, it's just sensitive altogether, but it's something that we need to talk about it. It's something that parents need to hear about it, children need to hear about it, and as this young generation that we are, we need to start having a different perspective about it. We live and we've been living in this circle, because it's been happening from generation to generation until us today, that us as children have to work and somehow support our parents, which is something beautiful. I mean, I think that's the most beautiful thing that one can do. I think there is no greater pleasure for a parent to know that my child has grown and they are now able to, do something for me here and there. But I feel like it's getting out of control, or maybe it's not getting out of control. That's what's been happening from generations and generation, and that's what needs to be done, we assume. But I've looked at myself, and now being a mother, when I think about the future, I do not want my kids to stop living their lives to take care of me. I don't want my kids to not travel and do and have dreams and live their dreams and do everything that they want. because they have to take care of me. I myself live with my mom, and there was a point in my life where if I went buying a pair of trousers or something like that, listen, I'm a whole grown-up woman, I'm a mother myself, I'm a wife, I've got my own house, and I still have to sneak in.
That bad, hey?
And I still have to sneak things in because I went and I bought a pair of jeans, and then you get home and there's this person telling you, but I need money for this, I need money for that. You know, I think that parents need to start putting a bit of a pressure off their children. I see a lot of people that I talk to, and then when I ask them, what is your goal this year? And they say, my goal is to take my mother on holiday. And I'm like, okay, that's very nice. How about you? You know, don't you maybe want to go to Cape Town with your crew, you know, with your friends? Everyone is going to Cape Town, you know, for the new year or something. And your goal is, there is nothing wrong with that. Don't take me wrong. There is nothing wrong with that. But like we spoke about it earlier, it's first you need to fill up your own cup. Do you know what I'm saying? Because now what happens is, I need to take care of my mom. I need to build a house for my mom because my mom probably had a 1-bedroom house. I think, let me take it back to, I'm going to talk about myself. I finished grade 12. My parents couldn't afford to take me through university and all of that. I had to find a job. I found a job, and as soon as I was working, now it became my responsibility to buy bread in the house.
Sure.
Do you understand? And the moment, you know, that bread doesn't arrive, people are looking at you. Where's the bread? You know what I'm saying? And then, with that being said, I mean, that's what leads a lot to, you know, to prostitution. Because now, us as women, we have this pressure that we need to bring bread home. Wow. And where do I get this bread? I mean, I didn't even get any skill. I didn't learn anything that's going to help me to go there and get work. How do I begin to, you know, get this bread? Do you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
And then obviously boys start stealing and doing whatever, anything that they can do. They get involved into drugs or whatever it is, because there is so much pressure at home that we get that says you need to bring something in.
Sure.
And then we start bringing into the house. So we spend the rest of our lives bringing bread into the house, building that house that my mom dreamed of. My mom even wants a car. I still need to buy her that car that she wants. And then before I know it, I'm already old. And now I have children of my own that I now sit and expect them to do exactly the same for me. And I'm at this stage of my life that I'm saying it's not fair. It can't go on. It's been going on like that. That's why our parents expect from us, because their parents expected from them and the great-great-parents, and it's been going on and on and on. So I'm at the point where I'm like saying to everyone, I'm saying to parents, let's learn to take the pressure off. Let's not put too much pressure on the children, because they end up doing things that are not even right. They end up going through the wrong roads, because now they have this pressure that they need to bring bread home. And children, which is us now, let's be a bit selfish. Let's start being a bit selfish. You know, selfish in the sense that, yes, let's help, but we must think about ourselves first. Today, I think about my children. You know, I don't want them to go through the same thing that I'm going through. I want them to have a different life. I want them to be able to go out, travel around the world if they want, and live their dreams and be whatever they want to be. And I remember I remember even when I was young, I was modeling. I couldn't even do it. I mean, I was not allowed, because modeling it wasn't something that, you know, you needed to go and work and find some sort of a job, a proper job, because modeling is not a job. You know what I'm saying? I knew that there was a point that even I had to sneak out and go every weekend to the academy, and if they find out, I know I'm going to get a hiding.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So, but our children now, they must just go and live their lives and do everything that they want. If they want to become football players, if they want to become dancing people, they must just do whatever they want. They must just be free and have that freedom, because we had that pressure that we needed to be somebody, that we needed to do some sort of a work in order to be able to provide for our parents. So I want my children to have a different future.
Yeah.
So that's why I speak to everyone. I speak to the parents as well, because it's not fair. Imagine that now, especially with social media now, we go out for dinner and we don't even post. Because if they see that I was out for dinner, I'm going to be in trouble, because there is no bread in the house.
Wow.
I mean, how is that my responsibility? When did that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just parents, let's just learn to take that pressure off our children, and children, care about yourself a little bit more. You know, care about yourself a little bit more. Go out there, you know, buy that fancy coat that you wanted, that you've always wanted, and you've been working the whole year to get it. You've been saving throughout the whole summer for that winter to get that coat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now you don't have, you know, you can't even go and buy it and come with it and wear it and show it off even to everyone in the house, you know, because now you're going to be in trouble. You know, so it's just basically, let's ask the new generation, because I often say that maybe the old generation won't understand, but then it's up to us to live a life that will not become a burden in our children's life.
Sure. That's
So it's our responsibility now to live a life, a different life, that will make a difference. Let's break that circle that has been going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said, hey. I mean, I don't have anything else to add to that. I think that's perfectly said. It's parents take the responsibility to look after yourself, and children take the courage to live your life.
Absolutely.
You know, it's simple as that, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of conversation.
Yes.
It's going to take a lot of confrontation. But, you know, in all of this, stand your truth, speak your truth, and do, like we've discussed this whole conversation, put yourself first and do what's best for you. And as a result, everything else around you benefit. But first, put yourself.
Put yourself first. I mean, a lot of us that are even working in jobs that we don't want, but because our parents said, you need to be a lawyer, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So we continuously live these lives that our parents wanted us so much to live and, you know, to go through. And I mean, some of the people, they simply just wanted to become a ballerina, but, you know, because it wasn't allowed, or my parents said no, I couldn't do it. And now I live, and that's the other thing, we live miserable in our workplaces. We literally wake up in the morning and we don't even want to go to work, just to begin with. And we can't wait for the day to finish at work, and then we come home, we are so miserable, we are so depressed, and it just affects everyone around us. So it's important that, you know, we start living our lives. That's all I can say. Just live your life, enjoy, and just do what you want to do.
That's it. I mean, this conversation was so important to be had, because, and like I said, it's going to be a conversation that's going to need to be spoken on more regularly. But the fact that we start in the conversation and, you know, and we take an action. You know, it's a call to action. It's a call to live your life. It's a call to put yourself first. It's a call to dream up a good life and have a vision for yourself again, and not forget about the child that yearned to be a ballerina, or the child that wanted to be a good soccer player. Put your vision first again, and realize that at the end of the day, you know, our parents they'll be okay. They really will.
And they'll be so proud.
They will be okay. And that's the thing. That's actually the beauty part about it. Is
yes.
The minute you put yourself first and you make a name for yourself, your parents will actually, sit back and say, you know what, I'm so proud of you.
I remember, like, my dad was the first one to be like, I don't want to involve in these things. And then a couple of years later, when I actually started modeling for some young designers and started, and I was on TV, it was the first one. Oh my gosh, my daughter's going to be on TV. We're going to turn on the TV now. 6 o'clock, everyone must be seated. But if you think about it, he never wanted it. He was the first one. I remember I used to get hiding every single day. I used to come back home and know, like, oh, okay, I'm going home. I don't even want to get there because I know what's going to happen.
Sure.
But yeah, and then so those are the actually things. So I think also because I also had the courage that I know I'm going to be in trouble, but I'm still going to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We always, I think the fact that we know that we will be in trouble, we often don't do things because we don't want to get in trouble. So I think it's just taking that risk, because it's all about taking risks.
Yes, absolutely.
It's all about taking risks. If you don't take the risk, then you'll never succeed. You gotta take the risk.
Sure. Dercia, again, thank you so much. I mean, like I said, this is a conversation that needed to be had, and I hope people have taken whatever it is that they need to take away from this conversation, but take away from it and implement it in one's life and really start the growing process, start to build and grow and put yourself first. And I think once we do that, once we start to develop this muscle of evolution, of growth, do we start to develop self-confidence? Do we start to develop a sense of self-worth? And at the end of the day, if there's one thing that I've taken away from this, it is develop the muscle of giving. Give, because that is our nature. Our nature is to give.
And the more you give, it will always come back to you.
Absolutely.
That's how I live my life, and that's how I live every day. Listen, and the other thing is, you must give without expecting anything in return, because that's sometimes that gets us in the box, because we think that I've helped Dercia needs to help me back.
Yeah.
No, there is nothing to do with that. Dercia doesn't have to help you back. You help because you can. You are in a position of helping, but it's not going to be Dercia who's gonna reward you to that. There will be somebody else that's going to come and do so much more for you, and we must just do your part.
Wow. Oh, we can go on. We can go on and on and on, but we'll keep it there for now, and we'll most probably definitely have another conversation, because I think there's just so much to share and to speak on. But once again, Dercia, thank you so much for coming through. It is absolutely amazing just to have you and to be part of, and just to share your presence. And like always, shine your light. Don't let anyone dim your lights. You don't need me to tell you this. You know this already. But from the Wellness Hub and from me, myself, Kaylin, just thank you so much once again.
Thank you. I thank you for having me and just being able to share this with everyone that is out there. And remember that we all have a story. Everyone's story is an inspiration to somebody else's life. So don't ever feel shy or anything like that. So you are an inspiration. There's always someone that's looking up to you, whether it's your neighbors, it's your children, it's your nephews, anyone around you is always looking up to you for something. So live your life in the best way possible, and remember that everyone is watching. What's the legacy that you would love to leave behind or be remembered for? For me, it's mostly just giving, and giving, and that's what I'm leaving even for my children. I'm teaching them the importance of giving, the importance of sharing. That's why you'll often see me packing things with them, shopping with them, and then getting them involved, and in all of those things that I do, because I believe, especially when it comes to my children, because now being a mother of girls, and I've got a big responsibility. Because I believe that educating a girl is educating a nation. I mean, men are raised by women. So we need to make sure that the women are raised properly in order to be able to raise the men. So we raise a woman, we raise a nation. So basically, it's the gift of giving. I mean, I was having this other chat the other day that I said, you know what? When I leave this world, no matter how many degrees I have, I'm going to take that with me. No matter, the only hope we hope that, listen, hopefully the government will make a good use of your money if you have some. We'll put it into a good use, because often your kids don't even get it. It just goes and you don't even know how it goes. And it's important that, you know, they remember that that's the legacy that I want to leave for them and for everyone else, you know, that we remember to give, we remember to share, and then we just always remember who you are. You must, you must always take that step back and ask yourself, who am I? Where am I going? Where am I at? So it's very important. So every now and then, just take that step, pause and ask yourself who you are. Remember to share and to give lots. And when I mean give, I'm meaning give money or just give yourself, give your time. Because time is the most precious thing that one can ever receive. I remember there was this lady that works with me. She lost her dad, and then I went to see her. And then I said to her, I said, listen, I wanted to help with something, leave something, you know how it is when, you know.
Yeah.
And then I said, listen, I wanted to give you something, but I just have this much in my pocket right now, and that. And then she's like, Jo, please don't worry about it. The fact that you actually took time, I know how hectic your life is, how busy your life is. And the fact that you just took time to actually come and see me, Jesus, I think that's everything for me. The fact that you took time out of your busy schedule to come and see me, that's more than anything that you can ever give it to me.
Sure.
So just understanding the gift of time as well, you know, that time is more important than anything. I mean, if I tell you I'm coming to see you at 10, you are going to stop something to be available for me at 10. And I need to honor that. Do you understand? We often think that, you know, Killen said he's going to come on Saturday to spend the afternoons because he has nothing to do. He's bored. He's just, you know, he's got nothing to do, basically. And we often forget that people literally take time off their day. That, listen, even if I was just sitting at home, just relaxing and just spending time with my family, do you understand? I took that time off. It's time off that I took out of my time with my family, or my time at work, or whatever it is that I could be doing to come and actually spend with you. And it really upsets me when people tell you, okay, we're meeting at 10, and then they pitch up at 11.
They grind my gears out.
Like,
as well, okay.
I'm like, you don't understand what I could have done with this hour. And you just literally just arrive, I was stuck in traffic, I was running. Like, no, I know that there are circumstances, yes, that we're going to be late sometimes, that we're going to get stuck in traffic. A lot of things will happen in between, but I think if we can just learn to communicate and, you know, just let the person know that this is happening and that, but let's learn not to take people's time for granted. Let's learn to appreciate people's time, because that's the most beautiful thing that one can give it to you. Out of everything, it's time. Time is the most important thing. And if we can just realize that, if we can just acknowledge that and learn to appreciate one's time.
There's nothing more to say. Dercia, thank you so much for coming through. You are absolutely amazing. What you stand for, who you are, the fact that you've done the work and you continue to do the work on yourself. And the more you do the work, it becomes this overflow for everyone else. You're sharing your truth. And this is the vision that I had, and, you know, asking you to come in today to share your truth. So thank you for having the courage Thank you for being who you are. And you know, I wish you all but the best. I really do. And if you need anything at all, let me know. I'll be there to support you, because I know that you would do that for me equally. And so I thank you, and I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for your heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's been an absolute pleasure.